it's Crafty Ria. Welcome to another video. I'm so glad you're joining me today. I am doing something way out of my comfort zone, and I'm watercoloring. I've had this watercolor pad for a very long time, and I've never used it before. I had to take it out of the package today. I got this on Amazon, and it's just a basic watercolor pad. And it's pretty thick. It has, let's see, 50 sheets of watercolor paper in there. I joined a watercolor swap or tag over on Creativity Swaps, Happy Mail, and Friendship. I'm a little late with this swap. I've been kind of putting it off because it's outside my comfort zone, but I decided I would go ahead and tackle it. I have this stamp that was in my stash for a long time, and I'm not sure exactly where I got it. It's copyright 2005, Stampin' Up. It was brand new until, or at least it looked brand new until I used it today. I went ahead and used VersaFine ink, got it really coated with the ink, and stamped on this with a silicone pad underneath. So not on the glass, but on my regular mat with the silicone pad. And the images came out really good. I'm always nervous using a large stamp like this. That silicone mat worked really well. And that I got off of Amazon. It's a big gray mat. I thought I would use it on my desk all the time, but it messes with my camera's autofocus. So it was perfect for stamping. And normally when I'm not on video, I would probably have it under this mat just to kind of contain any mess. Here are the two. First of all, here's how it came out. Very cool. And here are the two images that I made. This one here, I used different colors of distress ink. And this one here, I used these markers. And these are they're Aqua Flow markers. And I think the same people who make the Wink of Stella make these markers. And these are watercolor markers. You can color directly on your paper with them and then use a wet brush and, blend the color, or you can color on here and use water. And that's what I did for both of them. I used I stamped directly on here with one of these and blended it with water, and with the markers I just scribbled on here and blended it with water. So let's go ahead and do one together. I'll give you an idea. I have this one here, and I like the way the markers look, but there aren't as many colors in the markers, but I'll pick out some of my favorites. So we have this purple and a dark blue. I want to pick 4 colors. Maybe a green. I'm not sure which green I think I like. And I haven't used the red, so let's do the red. Let's do purple, blue, green, and red. We'll do 4 very vibrant colors. Well, let me show you my brush. I have this brush. I got a whole set of these brushes. I got these brushes at Hobby Lobby in a big pack. They were $10, and I think they were 50% off. So I have a variety pack of brushes. So I went ahead and picked this one because it would be easy just to paint with that. So I'm going to take the colors I'm going to use, and I'm going to just scribble them right on here, a good amount. And I'll do the blue. I want to get a really nice amount on there. And the green, I have plenty of room on here, so I will just do, I'll leave myself a lot of room for blending. And the red, I haven't used the red today, so, and you can squeeze them to squeeze out more color, but be careful because they can go everywhere. I think I need a little more blue. And then while my brush is clean, I have a glass of water right off to the side here. I'm going to, next to each one, put a dollop of water. And then I'm going to take my brush and take off the excess water down here, but save it because I might want to do more blending. I'm going to start at the top and just blend some of that purple into the water. And since I'm not coloring an image, it doesn't really matter how it ends up. And I do want to get outside of the lines a little bit. I have a paper towel off to the side so I can get off any excess water. My first one was really, really wet. And like I said, it is watercolor and it's intended to be blocky and messy. So I don't mind being outside of the lines. I kind of want it outside the lines. Just coloring those in. I'm going to wipe off my brush on the paper towel, get it really wet, and rinse it off. Then I'm going to move on to the blue, and I'm going to do the same thing. Then I'm going to clean off my brush again, go into the green, and do some of these in green. Then I will clean off my brush and then do the red. I'm not sure how vibrant this red will be. We will find out. It's pretty vibrant. And then I can go back in with swipes of any of the color if I want to add more color to it. And then I want to pick a color and I'm going to outline the outside. And I think I'm going to do the red because my red colors are more towards the inside of it. So I think red would be a good color to do the outside with. And then, of course, I want to add a little bit of color into that red. I'm going to pick up some of that leftover blue and kind of give it a little bit of blue mixed in with that red. And I don't want to blend it in completely. I want it to be a little bit like streaky on there. And then if I want to go in and put some on any of these white spots in the middle, I can do that as well. There we go. So that is done. And I will trim it in the red zone. after it dries. I will set it aside and let it dry. Then I'm going to just take my paper towel and wipe off my glass mat. If you don't have one of these glass mats, you can just use a piece of glass over a white piece of cardstock. And you can blend your watercolors the same way. Alrighty, I went and got some fresh paper towels, and I have this other image, this peacock. This is the image, my friend, this is the stamp, my best friend, my BFF Valerie, she found this for me at a garage sale or a thrift store or somewhere. There's no markings on it, so I don't know what company it is, but it is beautiful, and I love peacocks. So there are a couple ways that we can color this. We can use these markers and blend it out, you know, color it traditionally, or we can use the distress inks. Also, distress oxides work well as a color as well. I have a couple of these distress oxides in different blues that I thought would be good for the peacock. So let me try working with some of these. I'm going to start with this darker one, the Blueprint Sketch. And I'm just going to put a smear of it on my board. This one is called Broken China, and I will put some of this over here. If you have the smaller ones, they, you know, fit in those squares perfectly. This is Evergreen Bough, and I'm going to put a little bit of that over there. And this one here in this distress ink is Peacock Feathers. So I'm going to give myself a good amount of that one. So I'm going to take my big brush and just do the same thing as I did before. So I'm going to bring some water over here next to each one of these. We'll start with these 4 colors and see where we get. And I got the rest of my paint brushes, so I want to get some smaller ones. And I did tell you wrong. These were $7.99. And I think it was 50% off of the Fine Touch brand the day I happened to be there. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. These are brand new, so I want to mess them around with my finger. And I have this size. Also, this one here is a little more fine tip. So let me get that one wet. And let me work with that one. And I might as well start with some peacock feathers. And I'm going to go around the outsides of all of those feathers. All right, so I have kind of the outside of the feathers done. And then I'm going to go back in to the pieces in the middle with this really dark blue. I'm going to switch to this other brush because I think it will hold its shape better. Yeah, that's much easier to dab the paint on there. I'm not going for perfection. And I think I'm going to color the peacock's body in this dark blue because their body is usually a really deep blue like that. I'm going to just take it straight up and do some shading without much water, kind of where these darker feathers are. And I'm just tapping some around the feathers at the crown. I'm going to take some of this green color and Just dab it along these feathers, just kind of blending it in with some of the other colors that I have there. I'm going to go back in with some of this darker blue and hit some of these spots that I missed. Then I'm going to take some of this color and just go over these feathers up here. And then touch up a few on the tail, kind of watered down, just to kind of blend the tail colors together. I'm going to put a little bit of shading back down at the bottom here. And around this inside edge. I'm going to add a couple spots of that really dark blue just on some of these feathers up here, just to give it a little bit more dimension there. So I think the peacock is pretty much done. I'm going to go ahead and do the flowers now. I'm going to wipe off my board here. I have some greens. I'm going to use this mowed lawn for the leaves and the stems. And this other darker green, peeled paint. That doesn't sound very nice, but that's a good green. And then I think I will use some picked raspberry for some of the flowers. That's a really vibrant pink. And what else do I have? Those are orange. Maybe this lavender color, shaded lilac. I have this little flat brush. First of all, I'm going to take my really big brush and smack some water on here. There we go. And I'm going to try working with this little flat brush. I'm going to start with the light color, this lilac, and I'm just going to go over these flowers. I'm just going to kind of do the whole thing, all of the flower. And then I'll go in and hit some spots of it with that pink. And I do want to go outside the lines a little bit because I think that kind of gives watercolor a little bit of its character. This lavender is super light, so I think most of the flower is going to be more of that pink. I think I want more color there other than just that vibrant pink. Oh, I have more of a purple here. We have this color here. It's a seedless preserve. So let's try that one. I'm going to clean off my brush. I've got plenty of water here left over from that purple. And let me try some of that on some of the outside petals. Yeah, I think that's really good. My paper is pretty wet from laying down all of that lavender. So I don't need a whole lot of water. And I'm just kind of tapping this on kind of like the outside edges of the flowers. And clean off my brush and go in with that bright pink and just tap some of the insides parts of those flowers just to kind of add a little bit of brightness. Go in with a little bit of water and just smear it out a little bit. Then I'm going to go with my same brush and this darker green and just do these stems. And then kind of the center part of the flowers, leaves. Kind of along the spine of the leaf. Then take that other green and just finish off those leaves. And again, I am purposely going outside of the line, giving a little bit of a shadow around the outside of the leaves. Kind of going in with mostly water right now and blending out some of that color. And I just need to do the bird's beak and a little bit around the eye. I have these yellows. Let's see, I have scattered straw. And let me try that. And I'm just going to take my brush and just try to get it on the tip of my brush. My brush is already wet. I'm not going to add water because I want that yellow to be pretty concentrated there. Put a little yellow up at the top of it, the bird's head as well. And then take some water and blend in the bird's head. I'm going to take some of this brighter green and put a couple dots in the peacock feathers to make them pop. Just to add a little, like one more dimension of color to those beautiful peacock feathers. I'm just going to take just a little bit of water on this brush and I'm just going to blend out those feathers. There we go. That's how easy it is to paint a peacock. I am not an artist, and I think it came out pretty good. So here we go. Here are the ones that we painted today. This is just kind of a fun word collage, and then this is a really pretty peacock. I like the way it came out. I am brand new to watercoloring, but I did have fun making these. This was really kind of fun. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the watercoloring. I hope it inspires you to use some of your products and watercolor. You can even use the little watercolor kits that you get for kids at the store, the Crayola or whatever they happen to have at the Dollar Tree. Just use them. Get whatever you like and use them. Pick up some paint brushes. They don't have to be fancy. And just use them. Use a piece of glass over a white piece of paper and you've got this same thing. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, please do click on that subscribe button right down there and then click on the bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. If you like my video, please do give it a thumbs up. It helps YouTube find more videos for you that you will enjoy. Thanks again for watching. I do appreciate you. And until the next video, you know what to do. Go get crafting. Bye-bye.